So you're wanting to expand and deepen your professional network outside of the place where you currently work. How do you go about doing that, and where do you look to make that happen? That's what we're talking about today. Let's dive in. Hey there, my name is Jeff Perry, leadership and career development expert, author of The Intentional Engineer, and author of the upcoming book, The Intentional Career Guide to Professional Networking. And today we're talking about expanding and deepening your professional network outside of the place where you work now. Now, why is this important in general? Well, believe it or not, the people that you work with don't have the answers to all of the questions of life and of work. And so it's actually very strategic to expand your network and deepen your network and your relationships outside of where you work for a number of reasons. People outside of where you work can provide different viewpoints, experiences, and perspectives that you can't get inside of your work. They're also completely unbiased when you're asking for insights or advice, because they don't have any tie to whether or not you should stay in your current role or your company or anything like that. You never know what could happen inside of your company, so you may as well expand a little bit more, because you may have an opportunity or need to lean on those relationships at some point. Okay, so we've established why this is important, but how can you go about doing that, and where can you find and deepen those relationships? Well, let me give you a few different places that might be helpful. So number one is events and conferences. This is pretty straightforward, and it's something that a lot of people think about when it comes to networking, but don't discount them. So if you're involved in a particular industry, make sure that you participate and maybe even volunteer in events and conferences. Can you speak? Can you get in front of people? And when you attend, can you deepen relationships with people that you already know? And can you expand and make sure that you meet some people and follow up with them after the fact? Number two is professional associations. Now, these associations are often what host those events and conferences, but also usually there's a local chapter or group that you can meet with on a semi-regular basis, that often you can even get involved in a more volunteer capacity and maybe even a leadership capacity to help run some local events and organized things that are going on. And so it's a great way to be involved and connect with people who are close to you. Number three is looking for other places in the community to be engaged and perhaps volunteer. So you are probably involved in a number of different things, from causes that you care about to maybe even just if you have kids, if they're involved in activities or sports, then you have opportunities to meet other people. Instead of just sitting around and watching whatever is going on, can you make it a point to meet one new person and make some new friends, which could be great just to have some friends, but also you never know if those people could be involved in something interesting that maybe you could get involved in too, or maybe they'd have some great insights for you. So you're already involved in activities and things in your community. How can you use those as networking opportunities as well? Number four, let's talk about alumni networks. Most people in the engineering industry that I particularly work in have a degree, but not every single one. But a lot of people have a tie to a university somehow, and so you can leverage those alumni networks. And so sometimes there are events locally and nationwide. Sometimes those are attached to sports games or other things. And there's also, most universities will have some sort of alumni network place, whether it's an online system, or you can certainly look through LinkedIn and you can see who's also alumni of your university. So find ways to leverage that tie to a university that you might have attended to leverage those alumni connections. And fifth is LinkedIn. And this is a very simple, straightforward place. It is the best social media place for professional networking. And you can find people in your industry and particular companies and particular roles that you might want to connect with people with. So it's a great place to engage and to meet and reach out with people and to start the conversation. But obviously, you always want to take those conversations outside of LinkedIn to deepen the relationships even further. So there's a few places to start if you're trying to expand and deepen your relationships in the professional realm, and they're not the only ones. So you can say, hey, where else can I find that I can meet people who are interesting, that I can learn from and have some great conversations with. Hope this was helpful. If you're wanting to continue to deepen and expand your professional network, be on the lookout for my upcoming book, The Intentional Career Guide to Professional Networking. And if you want a free resource to create a networking action plan, you can grab it at www.intentionalcareerguide.com/networking plan. That'll help you create an action plan that'll help you take the right steps, identify the areas you want to focus to grow and deepen your professional network. Thanks so much for watching. Hope to see you on the next video. And if I can do anything to help you and on your journey to upgrade your career and life with intention, I'd love to help you. Thanks so much.